Guys, my name is Coach Anthony. I've been a professional boxing teacher for over a decade. I've worked with numerous world-rated professional boxers, world champion boxers, and even amateurs at the Olympic level. Over the years, I've created courses that are going to help you improve in different areas of your boxing, where I teach boxing fundamentals and I teach tactics and I get in depth. Guys, there's going to be a link somewhere on the screen. I want you guys to click it because I'm giving a special offer. I need you guys to invest into yourself. You don't have to walk this boxing journey alone, guys. I'm here to help you, and that's what I really want to do. So click on the link, go ahead, invest into yourself, and learn how to box and stop trying to figure this out on your own. Boxing life. What up, guys? What's up? You already know, man. Happy New Year's to everybody out there. It is officially 2022. Damn, the year went super fast, man. I gotta say, it felt like just yesterday. I was closing my gym, and it was in the middle of 2020, and we just found out what coronavirus was, and the corona pandemic hit the world, and we didn't know what the hell was gonna happen, and we're still dealing with that pandemic. So let me not act like it's over, but it was new, and that felt like just yesterday, like literally just yesterday. And we're literally in 2022, man. It's been 2 years since 2020. That just shows you how fast time flies, you know what I'm saying? And how if you don't really, get a hold of yourself and really get a hold of your goals, how quickly the years go on, and you can, potentially be stuck in the same place, or even worse, stuck in a place, worse than where you started because you never got started. A lot of people that I know don't like New Year's resolutions. I've met many people who talk about New Year's resolutions, and they're just like, yo, man, I don't like New Year's resolutions, man. All these New Year's resolution people and blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to be honest with you, man. I'm not one of those people. I personally like New Year's resolutions. I think they're great. I think it's a good way to use your brain because, what we forget is how powerful the brain is. And I think that New Year's resolutions are a really good way to tap into your own personal brain for your own personal needs and just hit that reset button. You know what I'm saying? It's like it gives you some sort of control. It gives you some sort of organization, so to speak. Yes, in theory, it's BS, right? In theory, it's just another day. You go into the new year, it's just another day, whatever. But if you actually care about where your life is headed, if you actually care about, what the future could potentially hold for you, if you have goals, if you're trying to get in shape, if you're trying to learn a new skill, if you're trying to improve your business, you can kind of reflect back into let's not say 2021, but you could kind of reflect in the past year and kind of just evaluate yourself, self-audit yourself, and be like, you know what? Starting this Monday, because New Year's did end up on a Saturday this year, which kind of sucks for all my goal-oriented people who kind of like starting on Monday. You know what I'm saying? So let's just say January 3rd, the first week of January, you have a new set of goals. I'm going to eat better. I'm going to sleep at a more appropriate time. I'm going to wake up better. I'm going to study more. I'm going to focus on my training. I'm going to educate myself. I'm going to, get courses. I'm going to take the classes. I'm going to do whatever I have to do to learn more, to be better. What better time to start than in the beginning of the year? Like, this is the perfect time to start. This gives us all an opportunity to just reflect on our personal goals and say, you know what? Enough's enough. And, I'm going to try to get better. And that's basically what I'm doing, man. If you see, I got my book here. This is just one of the many books I have that I write myself. And I'm still a believer of pen to the paper. You can use your phone. My phone got so many notes, so many goals, so many to-do lists and things that I've learned and things that I just jotted down in my phone quickly. But there's something about sitting down with a pen, paper, and just really, really focusing and writing stuff down. And that's what I've been basically doing all day. That's how I spent my Saturday. I didn't go to the gym today. The gym's closed early. I was up late last night celebrating, New Year's with my family. And I woke up a little late, right? One of the goals is wake up early. That didn't happen today because it's Saturday. Whatever. I'm going to be easy on myself. I'm going to start Monday. I'm going to be realistic on Monday. I'm going to wake up, early on Monday, whether I'm tired or not. I'm going to weigh in on Monday. I'm going to write down my fitness goals, I'm already writing them down, but I'm going to start working on my to-do list of trying to make 2022 the best year possible. That's the goal for me. The goal for 2022 is the best year possible. I want to know what some of you guys' resolutions are. If anybody who's in here, if anybody does resolutions, I'm about to go into the chat and say what up to everybody. So if you're just sitting here listening, and you're in here and you're writing in the chat, I'm about to check you out. So shout you out. You already know how I do. So, keep jotting away. But if you got something in there, write it down. Now, another thing that I want to talk about is the CA boxing community. And a lot of people know since since Black Friday, I should say, I've been going crazy with sales. I closed the year off super strong with the Black Friday sale, followed up by the sale that I got going right now that actually ends today. And it's the Santa sale, right? The CA Boxing Santa, which is the 75% off. You get all the courses, all the bundles, you get enrolled to the community. Now, I'm going to leave that on there for those of you who don't have access to my community, who've never purchased a course, who've been procrastinating on that. I'm gonna leave that there for you guys. There's still time to go ahead and jump on that. And what we're gonna be doing is a community, and the community is going to be dope because it's gonna have some perks that I don't, do on YouTube, publicly. We're gonna do different things, but it's really gonna be a place for everybody who's ever purchased anything from me. You guys are it's gonna be like a Facebook group. So if you guys know what Facebook groups are, you already know what a Facebook group is. You can post yourself, you can write questions, people in the community will answer you, et cetera, et cetera. Except this is more private because this is going to be only for the people who is part of what we're doing here, right? Boxing is a big community. Like boxing is a big community. It's a big and a small community. It's a small world, but it's a big community. Like when you go to LA and those type of places, they got like a whole different vibe than what we got over here on the East Coast. And when you go to Florida, they got their own little vibe going. And you go to the Midwest, they got their own little vibe going. Texas but we're all boxing, right? At the end of the day, even if we talk crap to each other, even if we don't like everything about each other, at the end of the day, is a big community of boxing. And it's a competitive sport. Everybody's in competition. You know what I'm saying? Then you got people from all over the world, right? It's like people from the UK, people from different parts of the world who also have their own thing going on. But the CA boxing community is people who, appreciate what I do, by bringing you guys my resources, my teachings, et cetera, et cetera. And the CA boxing community is going to be for us, right? For us, for this little community right here. It's a big game, it's a big world, there's a lot of different people, but this is us. And if you're in here right now, if you're watching this late, you're part of this because you actually keep up with what I'm doing, you chime in, you know what I'm saying, you purchase the course, you value the lessons, and I value you. So my goal is to really do something a little bit more private for my people. So if you want to be part of that community, you already know, you go to the website, coachanthonyboxing.com. The emails are about to get sent out and we're about to launch. It's about ready to go. It's about ready to go. So be ready. Everything that I say I'm gonna do, I tell you guys I do it, and I try to do it to the best of my ability. So you guys know it's gonna be dope, and it's really gonna be you guys. You guys are actually gonna be the ones really running the community because you're gonna be posting yourself. People are gonna be chiming in. People are gonna be encouraging each other. It's gonna be a good way to start off 2022 on the right foot. You know what I mean? So that's one of my major goals for 2022 is to build community. I've never really built a private community before. I'm kind of moved slow on that. Of course, I've given out tons of free information on YouTube that's all over the internet, tons of information on TikTok, Instagram, my personal thoughts. I mean, you guys seen, if you guys follow me, you guys probably know I've been doing that for a long time. Also selling courses at ridiculously cheap prices. So I've been doing all of that, you know what I mean? And providing you guys top-notch quality. I know because I've done the research and I see what other people are giving you guys, and I know what I'm giving you guys. And that's how I make my comparisons. You know what I'm saying? And I know for a fact you guys are getting great stuff. We got Eddie Chambers, you know what I'm saying? We got so many other people that are part of this. And yeah, so I would love for you guys to be part of the community. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Let me go ahead and say what's up to the people in here. We got Mr. Just Because. What's up, Coach? What's going on, baby? How you doing? My man Jorge, Coach Ant, the real TBE, man. I appreciate you, my brother. Always showing love. Big shout out to you. Coach, what's on the horizon for 2022? I kind of just gave you a little bit on that. I know that you wrote that a little earlier, but yeah, man, 2022 is going to be a big year for all of us. For all of us, man. So if you're part of this right here, we're all going to grow together. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a lot of fun, man. I'm super excited about it. Darius Day, Happy New Year, Coach Anthony. 2 questions. I wanted to start boxing training and would like to know what's the proper order and operations to boxing training. Well, Darius, I have a video on YouTube where you can check out like a boxing routine. Also, I might have a routine in my links in my description. Make sure when you guys watch my videos, you always go to the descriptions because I typically drop a bunch of links of free stuff that I give out. Um, and that's something that we'll talk about in the community. So, Darius, I suggest you go to the website right now, CoachAnthonyBoxing.com. Grab yourself a course because these lives that I'm doing right now, as I still will be going live on YouTube, I'm going to be pulling back on going live on YouTube and more so going live on the CA Boxing community. And in the CA Boxing community is where I'm going to be giving out a lot of the game that I give you guys already on here, but a little bit more in depth, a little more personalized for you. This is something that I could really be charging for what I'm about to do. And in the future, I may. But right now is an opportunity for you guys to get in for free. So you go ahead, you get a course, you're enrolled into community. The email should be getting sent out within the next 5 days. So be on the lookout for the email that's going to go ahead and enroll all you guys. And yeah, we're going to go into depth. I'm going to answer questions like that, give you guys personalized goals and stuff. So yeah, man, it's going to be a lot of fun, man. I highly suggest that, Darius, that you go ahead and jump on that. Gabriel De Leon, I like your vids, man. I appreciate you, champ. 2022, I woke up and nothing magically changed. Well, it's the change is here, baby. The change is here. You got to start here. Ain't nothing going to change unless you change. Remember that. Remember that. Nothing going to change unless you change. You got to make the decision to change. I got a bunch of goals right here of things I want to change. So what am I going to do? I'm going to work on changing them. God willing. You know what I'm saying? Of course. You know what I mean? You got to always give praise to the Most High. You know what I'm saying? And hope that you have the strength to go ahead and make those changes. But yeah, you have to change. You need the strength to be able to do it, of course. But you have to make the changes. So I hope that this year you find it within yourself to make the changes that you want to make for yourself. J Rock, what's going on? Happy New Year, Anthony from Cleveland. Big shout out to Cleveland. Day Digital, yes, sir. What's going on? Garnett, happy 2022, Coach. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. I hope you're doing well, too. Preach, Coach. You already know, man. That's my goals, man. Strike Buddy Sports. What's going on, my boy? Hippie, yo, happy anniversary, Coach, and happy anniversary, man. Happy New Year's, man. Prediction for Ortiz versus Martin tonight. That's a good one, man. I'm actually about to go watch it, man. So I wanted to come on live so I can watch it. I was going to go watch it with you guys live, but I'm just going to chill out, watch it, keep writing in my book, keep writing my goals down, watch the fight. That's going to be an interesting fight, man. I mean, we don't know what Luis Ortiz has left. He's older, you know what I'm saying? And Charles Martin's a good fighter. I think a lot of people are picking Charles Martin in this fight. But I like Luis Ortiz. He's a very skilled guy. And if he has something in him, I wouldn't count him out. That's for sure. Kill you. What's up, Coach Anthony? How could I increase my hand speed in the most effective way? I actually have a video on this. 5 tips on how you can increase hand speed is on my YouTube channel. Check that out. That's a common question that I get. I made a video on that. I think that video will highly benefit you. So write it in your notes. So go ahead and just type it in YouTube. 5 tips on how to increase hand speed. I got a whole video for you, man. You'll love it. Ghetto Dora, what's your thoughts about self-defense in boxing? Is boxing useful for self-defense? Have you ever used it on the street? As I don't like talking about street fighting, especially publicly, but yes, I've defended myself with boxing, and boxing is very practical for the street. Anybody who tells you different has never been in a fight before. Boxing is, hold on. Boxing is extremely effective on the street. Now, is boxing a guarantee? No, nothing's guaranteed. You got variables in fights. You know what I'm saying? You have a lot of variables in fights. There's the potential of a weapon. There's a potential of getting jumped. There's a potential of getting grabbed. There's a potential of tripping and falling to the ground. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of these things play a factor in a fight. So nothing's guaranteed. But yes, boxing is very practical for the street. And I will make some videos on this. I know they get tons of views. My man Tony Jeffries made a video on street fighting tactics and he got millions of views. Big shout out to Tony Jeffries. I didn't even watch the video. I just know he got millions of views on it. I've been in my own fair share of street altercations, and I'm going to have no problem explaining to you guys what has worked for me and what can potentially save you in a situation. But at the same time, there's nothing guaranteed on the street. So don't learn boxing with the intent to think that you're good on the street. It is just an extra tool to potentially help you, not guaranteed. I see all these kids who learn boxing and they're like, oh, I know how to box. I'm good on the street. Cut it out, kid. That don't save you. You know what I'm saying? It may assist you, but that don't save you. You know what I mean? And for the guy who doesn't have any form of training, you know what I'm saying, and thinks he could fight on the street, you're in an even more vulnerable place. If you give me a guy who's actually boxed and a guy who's never boxed, the guy who never boxed, you really have nothing, no data to base any of your success on a street situation. You have none. So you can't sit here and tell me, oh yeah, I'm a street fighter. Listen, man, if you ask any man if he could fight, he's going to tell you yes, even if he can't. You know what I mean? So, it's just a deep situation. We're going to go ahead and talk further about this in future videos. We'll talk about this in the community. I might make some private videos just for the community on this. But streets is something that if you can avoid a fight, that is what you want to do. You want to avoid it at all costs. Listen, a boxer by the name of Charles Martin, good friend of ours, he used to spar with Eddie Chambers from the Delaware, the Delaware area, Baltimore or whatever, down there somewhere, or Washington, D.C., whatever. He just got killed in road rage. Charles Martin, good fighter, professional fighter. He just got killed, man. They just killed him, you know what I'm saying, in a road rage situation. So he's a professional boxer. And what ended up happening? He got shot and killed. Vernon Forrest, you know what I'm saying, in a street situation. Guy pulled out a gun, killed him. The streets, man, if you can avoid it, you want to avoid it at all costs. You know what I'm saying? Not to add, you can also go to, prison if you hurt somebody. And that's another situation that you have to think about. So As I've gotten older, my viewpoints on street fighting has changed a lot because when I was younger, I was more of a firecracker. I was more ready to pop off. Anybody who knows me knows that that's not an area that I've ever been shy to get involved in. But now as I'm older, I'm a professional. I try to act as one. And yeah, so you want to avoid street fights at all costs, but if you have to, yes, boxing can help. True story. Nothing's gonna change unless you change. Good one, Coach. My boy, you still in here, man? I know I know I go rambling on these Q&As, and sometimes I take a while, man. But that's a fact. Um, Watching every pay-per-view and listening to Coach, my man. I appreciate you. What's your top pick on your YouTube channel? Oh man, I got so many videos, man. It is crazy, man. I got so many videos. I really have a lot of content out there, man. It really just depends. Excuse me. It really just depends on on what you need. Everything in boxing is important. And let me take a sip of this real quick. Everything in boxing is important, and this is something that you guys need to understand. Like for instance, as a coach, right? I got some really cool stuff I like to teach that more advanced fighters can get a hold of, and then I got the basics, right? For instance, I got a course, angles and how to create them, and then I got build you from the ground up. Someone may say, which one do you like better? I like them both equally. Who do I like teaching more? I've worked with world champions from both boxing and MMA, world class professional fighters, etc. And I've worked with the beginner. I've worked with the guy who's never boxed before. Somebody may say, what do you enjoy? Who do you enjoy working with more? I work with them both equally because everything's important. I have just as much fun teaching somebody how to throw a jab with proper form and technique and building on that jab as I have teaching a guy how to cut an angle, how to shoulder roll, and fire shots. You know, I have just as much fun at every level of the process. Every level of the process, I have equal amounts of fun. So when you ask me what's my top pick, they're all my top pick because they all help in different ways. They help fighters in different ways, beginners in different ways. I can't tell you the amounts of emails. I get flooded with emails of thank you, coach. This video helped me so much. And it's a simple video. But guess what? What's simple to me might not be simple to somebody who just started boxing. So teaching them how to do this basic technique is like, somebody teaching me something when it comes to marketing or something that I don't know how to do or I just purchased 2 courses today online for marketing because I'm trying to get better at, advertising and stuff like that. Cost me $1,000. I spent it quick. You know what I mean? And the reason I spent the money quick was, for one, education is a tax write-off. So I can write it off at the end of the year. That was something that I wasn't even thinking about till the person went ahead and was like, you could write this off. I'm like, damn, you're right. So for one, I got a tax write-off. For two, I'm learning something that I don't know from somebody who I believe is actually going to help me get there quicker. And I know if I wanted to get a consultation with this person, it's going to cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, or even if it costs 10,000, why not just get the course and just sit down, educate myself, learn how to do it myself, and that's cool. Like, so for me, the basics of running an ad might not be interesting to somebody who already knows how to run ads and they're at the highest level of running ads. But for me, it's exciting. I don't need to know how to do the advanced stuff. I need to learn the basics first. I need the back end stuff. Okay, how do you actually do it? Like, where do I go? To me, that's like me teaching somebody the stance. You know what I mean? If you want to learn about crypto, if you want to learn about anything that's, Anything. Who cares what it is? It could be changing a tire, whatever. If you don't even know the foundation of it, you have to learn that first. And then you build and you learn how to do more and more and more if you really like it. And that's me as a teacher. I understand that because I'm a student. And as a student, I understand that. So I understand. That's why I understand how to teach. A lot of people come on my channel and they're like, yo, man, I can't believe you taught this little. Listen, one of my teachers, boxing teachers, I should say, in my career, watched one of my videos and he said, what's crazy is I would have never taught this particular thing that you taught because either you get it or you don't. And I'm like, see, I understand what he was saying, but at the same time, I said, yeah, but see, you work with so many fighters, you forgot that the beginner needs every freaking little piece of information. He needs every detail. And that's what I try to do in my courses. That's what I try to do on my YouTube channel. That's what I try to do in these Q&As. I try to give every minute detail because I know that you guys even I know that beginners are interested in the minute details. When I see a successful businessman, you know, everybody wants to know the business that they do and how their operations works and all of that. I want to know what he does every day. My thoughts when I meet somebody successful is, what time do you wake up? Oh, okay, you wake up at this time. Do you work out? Okay. How much time do you spend enjoying your life? Like just hanging out with friends and stuff. Okay. All right. See what I'm trying to say? I want to know everything about this person because I want to know what gets their brain fired up. I want to know what gets them going. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure you guys might have had similar thoughts about professional boxers. Like, what does Floyd Mayweather do from the moment he wakes up to the moment he goes to bed? What does he do from the moment he walked in the gym when he was a fighter to the moment he left the gym? These little details that somebody who's around it every day might take for granted, a hungry student is like, I want to know that. I want to know that. No, 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 no. Oh, no, tell me about that. You want to know about this? Yes, I want to know about that. I want to know about that little boring thing that nobody cares about. I want to know about it because I'm super hungry to learn. And I don't know if anybody else can relate to that, but I know as a teacher, that's how I try to teach because that's how I like to learn. I want to know it all, man. I want to know it all. I want to know every freaking detail possible. So that's what I do. I teach every detail possible. And if I forget a detail, which I've been guilty of in the past, in my own personal opinion, nobody's ever complained, I'll make a follow up video on it. You know what I mean? So now I got more content. You see what I'm saying? Like if I forget something, I'm like, cool. Not only do I knock two birds out with one stone, I get to explain the details to the person who might be wondering, and I get a new video out of it. Awesome. I'm going to make the video. While somebody else might say, I ain't going to make a video on that. I am. I'm going to make a video on it because I know that person wants to know that. You know what I mean? So that's how I trade the value. You know what I'm saying? That's how I give the value, I should say. You feel me? Salute from Canada, Coach Eugenie Malo, man. Where you been, my guy? How you doing, my brother? I hope everything is good. Charles Martin? No, not Charles Martin. I'll tell you his name right now. If I said Charles Martin, I'm sorry. I didn't mean Charles. Tell you right now though. Danny Kelly. Danny Kelly. My bad. Danny Kelly. So my era. I was thinking about Charles Martin because he fights tonight, but Danny Kelly, rest in peace, Danny Kelly. Um, he used to come up to spar with Eddie Chambers at my gym, and he got killed in road rage, and that's what I was talking about. Uh-oh. We got Gary Groover in the building. Mr. Just Because. We got Gary Groover in the building. Uncle Junebug, what do you feel is more important to a fighter, mental or skills? Both, man. Both. You need them both, man. You know, all right, so for instance, you got the heavy bag, right? You got the speed bag, right? You got sparring, you got mitt work, you got the jump rope, you know, you got shadow boxing, right? You got road work, you got calisthenics, strength and conditioning. What's the most important workout? You need them all. You need them all. You feel me? You can't just like have one or the other. Mental is probably a little bit more serious than skills, but on the contrary, you can have the best mental in the world, but if you don't know what the hell you're doing, you're gonna get beat the hell up time and time again. You might be competitive the whole time, but you're gonna get beat up time and time again. Now, if you have a lot of skills, but you ain't got the mental, then you're never gonna reach your full potential. So what it comes down to is you need both. You need more than just mental and skills. Actually, there's more ingredients there. But those two ingredients are equally as important. You need it all. Don't let somebody gas you up. And oh, hold on. I got somebody on the phone, ladies and gentlemen. Who's on the phone? Who's on the phone right now?
Yo.
Hey, I'm on live right now, man. You want to come in here?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna send you a link. I'm gonna send you a link. Look at that, man. Look at that. See the kind of guy I am? Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Give me a second. Give me a second, ladies and gentlemen. See what I do for y'all? That's what I do for you guys, because y'all my peoples. Okay, so I'm bringing on a special guest. But yeah, you need a lot of different ingredients, guys. You need a lot of different ingredients. It's very important that you guys get the ingredients, man, and you guys use them all. Don't let these people gas you up and make you feel that you only need one. You need them all. You go to my website right now, CoachAnthonyBoxing.com. I got courses right now at 75% off. You get enrolled to the community, right? Shameless plug. But the point of me saying that is I don't just sell one course. I sell you a course on angles, counterpunching, defense, the Philly shell, how to box the opposite stance, which is southpaw versus orthodox. Okay. 150 combinations, which honestly, I could probably make another one to those. A heavy back conditioning drill one that I could probably make another one of those, which I probably will. This year, we're going to go crazy. Let's see. How to box from any range, which is how to box from the outside, how to box from the inside. Okay. I'm probably forgetting some off the top. Oh, to build you from the ground up, 1.0, 2.0. Be on the lookout for 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 12.0s, whatever, however many .0s as I make. And I say that to say, I have to teach it all. I can't just make one video and give it to you guys because there's too many things to talk about. There's too many videos to make. And I can make a video to the video. Just like if I teach you a counter, I could teach you a counter to the counter. And then I could teach you how to counter the counter's counter. It's like infinity. It's like it never ends. You see what I'm saying? So that goes back to this question, Uncle Junebug. I know I spent a lot of time on this question, but it's something that I need people to really understand. And yeah. Coach and business expense write-off. Absolutely, man. If you're a business owner and you get these courses, man, most likely a tax write-off. You might want to talk to your accountant, man. You might as well go ahead and show love, man, and add this to your education. That's what I did. And I tell you what, listen, 20 the era that we're in right now, that we can literally purchase courses from a lot of people and learn from so many different experts in their field. This is so phenomenal. I'm glad that I grew up before the internet and after the internet, because I can actually appreciate these times. Because I remember when I used to want this information, you couldn't get it unless you knew somebody. You know what I'm saying? Who knew somebody. Now, you guys can go on YouTube. You guys can make a quick purchase. Oh, I spent a quick $100, man. You spend $100 on nothing. I spent $100 on nothing. Like, I'll be like, damn, I spent $100 on that. Like, what the hell did I just spend $100 on? You know what I'm saying? I'm tripping. I might as well do something that's going to educate myself in something that I want to get better at. So it's a no freaking brainer. And if you're a business owner like me, it's a write-off. Let's go, baby. When he told me that, I was like, it's no brainer. Got to pay somebody. I might as well pay something that's going to educate me. And even if I'm not crazy about the material, still a write-off. And I guarantee you, even if you're not crazy about the material you're going to love my material. But if you're not crazy about somebody else's material, you're going to get one thing that was definitely worth the purchase. You know what I'm saying? There's no way you can't. And if you can't, you have a close mind. You always have to be creative in your own brain. Or how can I take this info and somehow like it and make it work for me? If you can't figure that out, you don't have creativity. A lot of people lack creativity, but you have to be creative. It's just like boxing, right? You have to be creative. Matter of fact, one of the most creative people I know in the building, the one and only, Fat Eddie Chambers. What's up?
Yeah,
How you been, man? What's going on?
I'm all right, man. Uh, I've been better, but I'm all right.
You've been better. What's wrong, man? You don't sound too excited, man. You don't sound,
No, I'm good, man. I'm excited to be back.
Oh, be back. All right. Well, what were you dealing with, man? You want to tell people what you was dealing with?
This COVID crap. You
So
know what I
you had,
mean? Like,
so
huh?
you had the coronavirus. Eddie Chambers had the coronavirus.
Yeah, this is probably the second go around, to be honest. I mean, I don't know, because the first time I just lost smell or whatever, and it really wasn't that significant. This time, not that it was really that much worse. The only thing that was worse was the throat. That shit was that was rough. But aside from that, it wasn't really anything worse than what you would consider the flu. Not even as bad as the flu, to be honest. It was just that.
So what have you been doing to get better? Gary Groover right here, of course. Eddie Hart
Oh
Swallow.
my God, I know what he's about to put right now. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Did he really put that shit?
Yeah. So what have you been doing to get better, Eddie? Maybe you can
Yeah.
educate some of us out there, just in case, God forbid, anybody in this chat or whatever. What have you been doing to get better, and how did you battle it?
Well, honestly, man, just try to boost your immune system the best way you can. But the way I just was resting, man. I haven't really left the room, to be quite honest with you. Um, I mean, I've obviously showered and all of that, back and forth, um, but it's like I haven't really left this damn room, man. This area has been everything to me for the last few days. I've gotten a lot more sleep than I've probably had in years. You know what I mean? I'm generally busy 7 days a week. For these last 7 days, I ain't been doing nothing. I've been literally just
Have you gotten retested?
television. Not yet. Not yet.
You're gonna get
The doctor told me the, the
shout out
nurse
to
told me.
Jorge. My bad. Shout out to Jorge. I see the
Oh, yeah.
super chat. Thank you. Go ahead.
Well, what she was saying was that you could come up positive for an extended period, even if you feel better and your symptoms are starting to go away. Like mine are basically gone. It's just that sometimes you have to like give it a little bit more time, I guess, than that. So she was saying, don't get retested. Like you could be good, but don't get retested right away. Like if you start feeling good, like right now I feel fine. Like I feel like I can go and do my normal thing. to a degree. Like, I mean, I still got little remnants of the throat bothering me a little bit, but it's not really anything else. I can sleep comfortably. I ain't really worried about nothing. But she would say still, even then, give it a few more days, maybe another week or so before you take the test, because it may still come back positive. And if if it come back positive, that just creates more issues. You know what I mean? Like, if you're still trying to work, you might not be able to go right back into work because you still got a positive test. You know what I mean? So the best thing would be, she was saying, is to just be really, really cautious. You know what I mean? The spread is pretty much non-existent now. You know what I mean? Where, especially since my symptoms and all that are gone. She said, you just need to be careful. That's all, and just a lot of fluids. Get your immune system back in order, obviously by resting, which is what I've been doing, and everything should be back in order, man.
So yeah, I was talking to somebody in the chat just now. They gave a question that I was just going in for about a good 10 minutes. And me, it's hard for me to answer a question in 2 seconds a lot of times. I'm kind of similar to you in that regard. And their question was, what's more important? Yeah, their question was, what's more important, skills or mental? And my answer was, it's 50-50. I mean, everything's important in my opinion, because I see it as in, for instance, if you got a lot of skills and your mental is bad,
Bro,
you're not going to do well. But if you have a really good mental, but you have absolutely no skills, that can't be too good either. I know a lot of tough guys who get their ass beat all the time too. So
that's right. That's real shit.
everything is 50-50 in my opinion. When I say everything's 50-50, I mean you need it all. Like you need to have discipline, you need to have mental fortitude, you need to have a good amount of skills. You don't need to be the best fighter skillfully. You don't need to be the strongest puncher. You don't need to be the fastest guy. You do need a strong amount of mental. I think if anything, the one thing you need the most of is the mental, as I'm listing it.
I was gonna say.
So you don't need that much skills, which is not all the way true, but you don't need to be Floyd Mayweather.
Right.
You don't need to be Gennady Golovkin. But you better have some strong mental if you want to go ahead and go and be a fighter. So in reality, you need mental more than you need skills in the long run.
Yeah.
In the long run.
I'll elaborate on it a little bit. Put it this way, like with me, I feel like when I look at the skills I acquired and all of that, it gave me a lot of the confidence and the mental, I guess, fortitude that I needed
Say that again. That is genius what you just said. Say that again. I think it's like gonna fly over some people's head. Say it again.
Well, see, with the skill, gives you that confidence, gives you that belief a little too. Because what happens is, if you know you've put the work in, you know you've been through the ringer, you've experienced just about everything. You know what I mean? That gives you some level of mental strength. You understand what I'm saying? Then you have the fortitude to go forward and just be like, hey, yeah, I know I can handle this shit. You know what I mean? I've been through it all. You know, I've seen everything. I've dealt with everything. I've practiced these things. I'm well versed in all of these. I can handle it. But there are people that naturally have that belief in themselves. But I've seen those guys, they'll come in, man, yeah, well, I'm gonna dust anybody off in the gym today. Come in with that belief, and in 2 seconds, they getting pants put all over them, and they lose that confidence. So it's a little bit of both. It's like you said, you know what I mean? There's a lot of both. But I feel like if you look at me,
you see to my point why I said it's all
important. You needed both. Yeah,
you needed the skills to build the mental, because the skills gave you the confidence to continue to grow. That's why, like hard sparring, guys who are old school, who put their kids in there to get their ass beat learning, yes, that helps to a degree, but they need to be prepared for that. Like, you can't just take a kid with no skills to get his ass in the gym. You need to at least build that kid up. And once he's built, okay, you're built. Now I'm gonna let
Yeah.
your ass loose. Listen, I got no problem letting my kids loose, but I'm going to build them first.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna prematurely, it's like taking food out the oven too early. You take a dish out the oven, it's not fully cooked. You gotta at least cook your dish before you feed it to people. So that's how I look at my fighters. I gotta at least get them cooked enough to where it can be fed. Because if not, they're not gonna be able to even remotely defend themselves, and that does nothing good for their confidence.
And that's 100% true. But then I look at guys like myself who, like, I've been around a lot and I've experienced a lot. My dad put me through the ringer for sure. Like, he put me in there. I was always obviously prepared.
He put you through the ringer because he might have knew you were prepared, even though you didn't know yet. Let's talk about some of the drilling you used to do.
Oh man, I used to
drill. I mean, I talked to people who knew your dad.
Yeah.
Who said that was one of the things he was known for having you guys constantly do these drills.
Mm-hmm.
It was something that people knew, like all of you guys would do these drills. So he drilled you guys to the extent of, okay, I know my kid knows how to throw a jab cross hook. I know he knows how to throw an uppercut. I know he knows how to slip. I know he knows how to block. I know he knows how to do this. I know he has the tools needed to defend himself. Now he has to go out there and defend himself. He didn't just take you and say,
no, of course not. No.
And you feel what I'm saying?
But this is what he would do, though. He would take us in there, and we did this with a lot of guys. It was controlled. I'm not going to say it wasn't controlled. It was 100% controlled. Oh, somebody's Happy New Year. Appreciate you. Who's that? Vlad? Yeah, appreciate you. But he would take us, and this is how he would do it, right? He would literally, the first day we come in the gym. Now, not me. I mean, I'm experienced at this point. But the first day the guys would come in the gym. He would have them doing contact. He would have them catching and throwing jabs the first day. Like, he would literally teach you how to move a little bit, how to step with the jab and all of that jab or whatever, building from the ground up type thing. And literally still that first day have punches getting thrown at you. Which if I go back and think about it and look at it, it gave these guys from day one confidence that they were comfortable with punches, confidence that if somebody would throw a punch at them, they're comfortable with dealing with it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like, like you'll go months and months and months in the gym just learning how to throw a jab and cross and a hook and all that and move and get the footwork down, but you had no idea what punches were like coming at you. He started that from the very beginning.
I actually did that too at my gym. I would do something similar, but what I would do it is on different days. Like, one day, our day would be focused on the line. The next day, I'd partner everybody up and everybody be doing catch and counter, catch and punch drills just to learn. Another day would be focusing on the heavy bag. Another day would be back to the line. Like, I would do that in my beginner program just to keep them interested, because I know how easily people can get bored and they'll be like, forget this. You know what I'm saying?
But what I agree with those things. And those are the principles. Like, I basically take with my guys now. But I think it's important though from the beginning though, and I really think this is just like we always say, building from the ground up, no doubt. But I think having punches coming at them in a controlled atmosphere, nothing crazy, not like you just basically throwing them in there and letting them spar, from jump. No, but I feel like if you get them comfortable in a controlled setting with shots coming at them and them knowing what to do when they come, and that's how they're growing into the sport, I feel like they'll be a lot better prepared when it comes time maybe to spar. And not only that, just for competition purposes, like when you get in there and guys are, going to throw punches at you, you'll have at least some idea of how to deal with them. You understand what I'm saying? And I think a lot of people overlook the importance of defense. You know what I mean? When it comes to early on in these young people's careers, is, if you're not comfortable with punches coming at you, how the hell are you going to throw confident? You know what I'm saying? because the shots that are coming at you, you're going to be so consumed with what the hell is this? Like, I don't know what to do. And you're going to be kind of shook. You know what I mean? And kind of thrown in like, yeah, you're going to be like in a deer in the headlights type thing. You know what I mean? So I think it's important early to get used to punches coming at you and what to do and how to deal with them. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's something from jump that needs to be added. And I think a lot of the recent training sessions I've done have been based on like, okay, well, don't get me wrong. It depends on what these people are, you know, what they want to do with their careers or what they want to do with the boxing. They could be just saying, oh, well, I just want to come in and just get exercise and get in shape and learn how to throw punches, learn how to hit the mitts, and that's it. And if that's cool, if that's what you want, that's fine. Defense isn't as necessary because you're not going to be getting punches thrown at you. But if they're thinking about going in and sparring and trying to learn it for self-defense purposes, then defense is going to be something that you're going to need.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
In reality, you know, when you hear a person say something like, I don't want to actually compete, so all I want to do is learn, let's just say the hit and miss part like you talked about, or even the heavy bag, but I'll get to that in a second. I just want to hit mitts and hit the bag, and I don't really care about actually fighting, so defense is not important to me. This is what they fail to realize. This goes back to what I was saying, that everything is ingredients. If I'm holding this for you right now, holding this for you right now, and I say, Eddie, throw a jab, cross, roll under, 2-3-2. You just performed a defensive move when you rolled under. If I tell you 1, 2, 3, block the hook, fire back your left hook, right hand, so you're gonna go pop, 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 boom, boom,
1,000,000%.
You just actually performed a defensive move and a counter punch move, but it's happened so quickly. And if you roll under and step under, and then triple jab your way out and step to your left, you just
that's also
So we just incorporated offense, defense, counter punching, and footwork in a simple freaking combination that quick.
And that's true. And that's the thing.
And if I'm creating an angle off the jab by stepping around you, I've also created angles. So I just created angles, worked on some combinations, worked on some defensive tactics, worked on some counter punches and angles, footwork, all within 3 to 5 seconds.
And that's it. And that's all it takes.
But notice that, because
you know what's funny about that?
Things.
But see, there's people that will still say, you know, I ain't really interested in the finer points of it, what makes defense important. And they just want to learn. They want to be able to do those things, right? But they don't want to understand why, because they don't really care. It's not important to them. And these are the people I'm talking about that just want to come in and just want to get trained just for it to look good, for them to feel good. I'm hitting the pads. I'm able to move. You know what I mean? But I feel like.
Go ahead. I'm just so excited about this topic that I want. First, I want to say shout out to Ricky Ferguson. Thank you for the super chat. Thanks for the effort you both put into the courses. I got all of them. And it's great to have a library I can go to at a press of a button. Ricky, thank you for the true, honest testimonial. And I appreciate that you appreciate, what we're doing. And not only that, understand the value. I was telling them, Eddie, like this, the information that we've given, the fact that they can literally purchase a course right now for 75% off, right? And get to see you and I go over. Like, they don't even got to know us personally to get this info. Like, back in the day, if I wanted some game from Eddie Chambers, I had to freaking know Eddie Chambers. Like, literally, I had to know you to get game from you. Like, if I wanted to be like, yo, Eddie, how do you perform that double turn that you like to do that I've seen you pull off on? I would have to know you so you can say, all right, so what I do is I go here and then I go here and then this is how I think. Now, we give away game like that on the courses. They don't even got to know you. They don't even got to like us, Eddie. They can be like, yo, I Coach Anthony, motherfucker. He's a I ain't gonna lie. He knows his shit, but I don't like him. You ain't gotta like me.
There's dudes like that too, yo.
You can literally not like me and still learn from me. Isn't it crazy?
Hey, listen, what's that one dude?
There's probably a few people in here right now, like, I don't like that motherfucker, but he knows what he's doing.
What's the one boy? We know we don't want to shout him out. We don't
Huh?
want to shout him out, but there is that one boy that really is like that.
Oh
I
yeah, he
bet you
watches
that
everything
motherfucker
I do,
purchased
and
it,
he acts like he's not watching. And then, you know what I mean? But we ain't gonna talk
bro.
about him.
Like he watching this shit, yo.
Listen, as long as you're learning, this is an educational platform, and we're here to educate. And I'm even here to educate the ones that don't bang with me like that. As long as you want to learn, listen, that's what we do. That's what
Listen,
we do. We teach. Now, Eddie, the reason I wanted to get back to what we were talking about is I remember this when I first learned the Floyd Mayweather mitt work. I used to. I was one of maybe 5 people. I would say less. I was probably one of only 3 people in the area that knew how to do the mitt work back in 2012. Like I was
yeah,
ahead of the
yeah,
game. You know what I mean? Big shout out to Coach Rick who passed away. He was training people at my gym, and he was the one who really was teaching people how to do the Mayweather mitt work. Like I'm talking about the exact rendition. Like if I wanted to do the exact Mayweather rendition, I know
yeah,
it. I know it by heart. I don't do it because I don't want to promote myself as a Mayweather mitt work guy. I want to teach
yeah.
boxing, but
Right.
I understand the Mayweather system, right? It's something that I
Yeah,
get, and I use pieces of it from time to time. Now, the
right.
whole point of me saying that is this. I built such a name for mitt work that people only wanted to come to me for mitt work for a long, long
Mm,
time. They didn't give a shit about what I knew. All they wanted to
right.
know was, I want to hit the damn mitts like Floyd Mayweather. And I did it. I gave the consumer what they wanted. I was like, you know
Yeah,
what? I'm going to give the customer what they want. But guess what happened after a while? They learn it. And then it's like, where do we go from here?
yeah,
So, what I started to do differently in my training was take a kid who knew nothing or a woman. I didn't give a shit if she was the most feminine freaking girl. And you knew I had a gym full of beautiful,
hmm
feminine girls at one time. Remember, Eddie,
Oh
when my
yeah,
gym was
I
packed?
remember
And we're,
for
you know what
sure.
I'm saying? I know, and I know you're a married man. I'm not trying to put you. I'm just saying. Now, I would teach them like they were getting ready to fucking fight. This is
Yeah,
how you slip a jab. This is how you roll under a jab. This is how you block a hook. This is how you pivot. This is how you create an angle. And
yeah,
some of them girls were actually looking better than a lot of the guys I was training. And I'll tell you what, they loved it. And they kept coming back because they seen that I didn't teach them less boxing because they were women. And not only
right,
that, I didn't also teach them less boxing because they weren't trying to be fighters. I said, you know
right.
what? I'm teaching everybody the same.
Yeah,
And what ends up happening is the people come back because they want to learn more.
of
Now,
course.
if you water down the training because you put it in your own brain and you say
Hmm.
he's never going to be a fighter, so what's the point?
Yeah,
You're only going to retain that client for so long until they get the vibe from you that you're watering down the program. And then they're
right.
like,
That's true too.
well, why? Like they're going to be like, I'm not even going because he ain't teaching me shit. He thinks I ain't never going to be shit. So why even do this? I'll go pick something else up. But when you
Yeah.
start teaching them and they start learning and they see that you're putting in that real effort to make them better, that's when
It's
they
the only
say,
way I can do it, bro.
so
That's the
when you
only way.
do
I'm gonna be honest.
that's the only way I do it. And then the reason
Yeah,
the reason is because not only that, you want your work, you want your quality. You're your own brand. You want people to talk about you and say, yo, man, Eddie, man, the one thing I can say about him, man, that motherfucker
no
teaches,
shit.
man. Coach
Yeah,
Anthony, that
no
motherfucker
shit. Man.
teaches, man. He don't bullshit me when I'm with him.
Right.
That's why the courses are the way we are. We teach these courses to people. I bet you 90% of the stuff like might fly over some people's head, but in 5 years, when they get
They'll
more
understand.
educated
Yeah,
to the game and they go back, they're like,
and they look
oh
like, oh
shit,
shit, I didn't see that. Yeah, yeah.
Coach Anthony
I,
teaching me
I can
that
see
shit
that.
fucking 2018, man, 17. Oh my
Yeah,
God, man. I can't believe I didn't notice it till now.
no shit.
That's how
Yeah.
long some of this game takes to register for some people.
Yeah, because they don't have the information right away because they don't understand it properly. It's just like being when you were a baby. There's certain information you just won't be able to pick up at at that young age. But once you get to the point when you really start to pick it up, it's like, oh shit, that's what it was. Oh, okay, now I see how this works and I see how it plays into this, and then it all works together. And then you turn out all of a sudden now you a finished product, and it's like, damn, That's crazy how that all worked together, but that's what happens. And when I said what I said about, people like, oh, I'm not really interested in the why as much as just the how to do the shit. It's like, and then I would focus more on the stuff that they want, like pads and hitting the bag and then doing some of the fancy stuff, you know what I mean? But really, at the end of the day, the only thing you really can do is focus on the basic things and bring them up slowly through, the normal course of action, which you would do is if you were training anyone. So even if I'm not really so focused on let's stay and stick to the defensive aspect, they're going to learn it just through trial and error based on because, yeah, that's just the way they're getting trained. It's just not gonna, there's no real way to avoid it. It's a process. You understand what I'm saying? So we bring it up through like, okay, like footwork, and then we go, defense, or well, more so footwork, and then learning how to throw the punches properly, evenly distributed their weight from the back to the front, toe heel alignment, basic stuff, all those basic things. Then then it's like, okay, we don't really going to focus much on defense, but they'll just learn it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because some of the stuff that we do and some of the way that the things that I teach, that just happens anyway. There's no real way to avoid it or to go by it just because they're not interested in the why. We still have to teach it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm realizing now. Anytime I've taught anybody recently, and you try to just, I ain't thinking about that part. You really can't avoid it. It's just something that naturally comes into play. It's crazy, man.
And not only that, when they learn it, they'll appreciate it because when their jab starts to snap, when they throw that 1-2 and they feel that pop pop, when they finally get, that's what it's supposed to feel like. Then they want to build on it. They're like, well, I'd rather take a kid and focus on his 1-2 and get that 1-2 to be freaking nice.
Snappy.
Before him a hook, an uppercut, a pivot. Like, you don't need that right now. Get your 1-2 to crack. You feel me? Let's get there. Once you're there, you're gonna want to get better with your hook. You're gonna want to improve your uppercut, and it gives you purpose.
No, I was saying one of the greatest fighters when he was in the amateur. My dad used to always tell me, say he didn't really because he used, my dad was amateur around the same time they were, with Ray Leonard and Tommy Hearns. He said he used to watch Tommy Hearns all the time. He said Tommy Hearns really wasn't that big killer puncher wise when he was that young. I mean, when he was coming up like that in the amateurs, he really got that as a pro, but he was so deadly with that jab and that right hand. It's like, you really don't understand how nasty you can be with just one trick. Your jab can be stupid nice, and it's just your jab, and you just use that to win. That's your game. I mean, you throw a right hand, obviously, every now and again, maybe throw another little hook on there. But if you really think about it, man, you get that 1 and that 2 real nice and sharp and snappy, you might not need anything else. That might just be your game. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. Add the other things to it so you can make it make that right hand and that jab a little nicer. But man, it's if you learn how to really sharpen that tool, it could be nice with just that.
Absolutely, man. What did Bruce Lee say, man? Master a one kick 1,000 times or 10,000 times instead of learning 10,000 moves or whatever the case. I always forget the quote, but it's somewhere in that realm. And that couldn't have been more of the truth. Like, it's like, and like I said, it gives you purpose. It gives you something to wake up and strive for every single day. You have a reason to get up. If I give it all to you in one day and you think you know it all, but you really don't know shit, what ends up happening is you get uninterested, because when I do try to teach, if I teach you a jab, cross, hook, uppercut, slip, roll, all in the first day, and now I try to teach it to you again, you're like, I know that already. But it's like, no, you don't know that already. You think you know that already. You only know what the hell I'm saying, but you don't really know it. You see what I'm saying? And then when it's trying to actually teach it to them, they think they know more than what they know, and then they end up getting hurt when they go and try to perform it in real situation. You see what I'm saying? You good over there, Eddie?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just
Oh, I was trying to send a message real quick. My bad.
Oh, all right. I can hear my echo, and you looked at confused. But
No, I was
yeah,
I was trying to
yeah.
send a message real quick.
Nah. You see what I'm? You know what I mean? You ever meet somebody who thinks they know more than what they know, and then you're just like, all right, kid, go ahead.
Yeah, trust me, it
All right.
happens
How
a
many guys have you
lot.
met? Like, I've had guys come on here and literally act like they know more about boxing than what they know. Go ahead, Eddie. Go ahead, Eddie. Go ahead.
Hold on, let me do this real quick.
We'll bring Eddie back in. We'll bring Eddie back in a second, man. But yeah, you know, Eddie's still around. He's just on the phone or something like that. But yeah, guys, the goal and obviously the message of today is, you know, we just want to make sure people are learning this game properly, no matter whether you're learning fitness, boxing for fitness, or you're just interested in boxing, or you're 59 years old and you just started getting into it. Listen, I've trained guys 70 years old. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. Like, you teach boxing. We teach boxing. The fitness comes with boxing. The fitness comes with boxing. You see what I'm saying? Eddie, you back?
Yep.
Well, maybe not. Yeah, we gotta teach Eddie how to work electronics better, man. We gotta get Eddie on an electronic course. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have to teach Eddie how to use the electronics. You know what I'm saying? Eddie is still learning electronics. You know what I'm saying? He's a little old school. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
not, yo. I'm good. That
Listen,
was my fault.
you can fight like a motherfucker, boy, but you need help with your electronic knowledge. We're gonna get you there, though. We're going to
I'm
help
getting
you.
better, and
You can't be good at everything, Eddie. We all have weaknesses. All right, but
no doubt.
listen, what I was saying is, you know, the fitness comes with the training.
Yeah.
So when
It
somebody
does.
says I'm only in it for fitness, I'm like, great, because you wasn't avoiding that part. like it really
Yeah,
doesn't
real shit.
matter. Like, I can't teach you boxing and actually put you through a boxing routine without the fitness. It just happens.
It's part of the territory, bro.
It's part of it. If you throw 100 jabs, your shoulder's gonna be worked. I mean, at the end of the day, you're working your fitness whether you want to or not.
Yeah.
Like, you know, yo, bro. Hold on 1 second, bro.
Yeah, Eddie teasing us, yo. I think he's doing that on purpose. I think Eddie doing that on purpose, yo. Let me see some of the comments in here, guys. Drop a comment, guys, if you guys are enjoying this live right now. Let me know if you have any things, any questions or whatever. We got Peter Nieves in the building. What up, cuz? He said it's all good till you get punched in the face, man. I know, Pete. Listen, Pete, you got a lot of knowledge, Pete. You got a lot of knowledge, man. It's time you start shedding light out there, man. You know what I'm saying?
I'm back.
Eddie Chambers is back. All right. We good now, Eddie?
We good, man.
Okay. All right, cool. So, yeah, Eddie. So what else, man? You know, all right, so let's talk about this. Let's talk about the new year. I got my book, writing my goals down. I'm getting motivated. You feel me? I'm watching motivational videos on it. I purchased a course today about ads and stuff. Cost me $1,000. I'm hoping it's the best $1,000 I ever spent. It's a tax write-off, so I ain't worried about it. So I invest in my education. You feel me? It's what I do. I invest. I know you invest in your education too. There's courses that I know you spent a lot of money on for different things. I know you're a big basketball guy. You purchase courses on different ways to improve, like with the resistance bands and all that stuff that you like to do.
Definitely, just for fitness.
So you understand the value of spending money on education. So just so y'all know, this is real talk. This is like, you know, listen, Eddie, how many times have me and you had conversations about stuff and I'll cut you off in the middle of the conversation, like, yo, let's say before live?
A lot of times.
A lot of times.
We just had a conversation like that the other day.
Yeah, so what I try to do now with Eddie is whenever I talk to Eddie now, because there's so much value in our conversations, I try to just get him to come live, because it's like, I know that people can benefit from just hearing our conversations. It's like access. You know what I'm saying? We're basically giving you guys access to like Illuminati getting better in life talk. Well, we're not part of the Illuminati.
Seriously.
You know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying?
I
I mean, somebody's going to take that, edit it, and be like, oh, Coach Anthony said he's in the Illuminati. Listen, you know, the point is that we have really good private conversations about getting better in life. A lot of people who know me personally know that that's like something I've always been into. I've always been into self-improvement, self-development. It's probably annoys some of my friends, but hey, man, that's just the kind of guy I am. I wasn't great at school, or I am self-educated. You know what I'm saying? And I've done okay for myself, considering I'm not a college graduate or you know anything else. I'm not even going to talk about high school. You know what I'm saying? But my point is, so the CA boxing community, okay, is going to be very similar to a Facebook group. I'm actually going to let you see how I got it set up. It's pretty dope. And we're going to have like a section that's going to be called, I don't know what I'm going to name it yet. I think I'm going to call it like just like a CA boxing news feed or something like that. And that's going to be where people can post themselves, like hitting the bag, hitting the mid, sparring, shadow boxing, whatever. And then other people from the community could chime in, give positive feedback. We're not accepting any negative, disrespectful talk. I mean, of course, criticism is okay as long as it's constructive criticism. Cool. And then you and I will be doing more lives like this privately based off of what we see happening in the community. So it's something that's going to be real dope, man. I'm really excited to have you part of it, and the people are going to benefit tremendously from it. So, for instance, let's just say, you know, Mr. Just Because, who's in the chat right now. Big shout out to Mr. Just Because, or if you know, educated black guy, you know, who's in here right now. We got the educated black guy. You know, they decide, you know, what I mean, they decided they wanna hit the heavy bag and post it and ask for, hey guys, what do you think about my heavy bag work? You and I may sit there and decide to say, okay, let's take that video and let's talk about it. Let's talk about what we see right, what we see wrong, and then we can go ahead and do, you know, whatever, and then they'll get feedback or whatever like that. So it's going to be like a lot of different stuff. You know what I mean? You know, motivation, just all types of stuff. Something that we could charge big dollars for. Right now, they're enrolled for free. We're trying it out for free, Eddie. If it's a hit, then yeah, we're probably going to go ahead and do something in the future. So for anybody who's in it now, consider yourself very lucky, because in the future, believe me, you guys know Coach Ant, you know that's not going to be free forever. You guys know that. You know, we're not doing that. But it'll be free for now. And all you got to do is go to the website and, you know, grab a course. And that's how you get enrolled, because everybody who grabs a course, once you put your email information, that email will get sent out back to you with a link, a private link for the CA boxing community. Any thoughts on that, Eddie?
No, I like it. I like it. It puts them it puts you in a position like, and I've gotten so many DMs from people like, yo, man, what you think about this? They'll send me stuff for them hitting the bag, shadow boxing, et cetera, et cetera. And they're like, yo, what you think? And then they'll even just questions, you know, and ideas of what they should do in certain situations. And this kind of thing here is perfect, because now you don't necessarily have to go to where you DMing me or you DMing Ant or anybody like that, or even another high profile fighter that you like and you just maybe following him and he follows you on IG. You can literally come and put something out there and like, hey man, even in the community, because we got a community of people that are of not just us that are boxing, you know, qualified to give advice, but there's a lot of other pros like Peter Nieves, you know, a bunch of other dudes who actually know the game, you know what I mean, have fought before, high level professionals too. So
I mean, I got a nice network of boxing people that I'm going to bring involved. But you know me, Eddie, and you know, and you as well. Both of us, we know so many people in boxing. I mean,
exactly.
If I was to pull out my phone right now and show people some of the names of the fighters who I can actually call, people would be like, damn, you got his number? Can you get him on the phone? But, you know, well, my thing is, I like to keep my circle pretty tight, because even though I know a lot of people, I can only say I have a few close people who I trust.
Oh, yeah.
And those are the people who I bring on. So I bring on some of my closest resources. Not any I can easily, I can get anybody in boxing if I really want to. I can simply send them a message and say, hey, man, I'll pay you a couple of dollars, come on my platform,
Real
and
shit.
they'll do it. But
Yeah,
I'm
100%.
more excited about dealing with good people who I know their shit and who's I'm personally involved with, that we know each other and we deal with each other. That's how I like to do business.
Yeah.
I like to deal with good people who I personally deal with on a day-to-day. So that's how I move. Now, don't get me wrong. That doesn't mean I won't get a special guest, you know what I mean, who I don't deal with on a day-to-day. That's okay. But guys like you who, I mean, I literally can call you at any time of the day and you'll pick up the phone. I'm more excited about having a guy like you involved with this than anybody else. You see what I'm saying?
Right, right. I agree. I agree,
You
but
know,
I think this is the dynamite thing, bro. I think this kind of thing here is makes a huge difference for a lot of different people. A lot of being enrolled in this community, bro, is just like it puts you on a map. You know what I mean? This gives you everything you need. You know what I mean? When it comes to the boxing, you know, you'll learn so much just by being involved. You know what I mean? You get a course for one. That's the first thing. You get a course, but then on top of the course, now you're getting access to be in touch and for us to be able to see what you want to put out there so you can be critiqued constructively, of course. And you know, and then it's just so much information that you could take in based on that. So I just think it's a great
and not only
addition to
that,
what we got going on.
not only us being there, just being part of a community of other people. Like there might be times where I don't say anything, but they're interacting with each other, networking with each other, and dealing with each other, and
that's true too.
So it's like maybe I don't have anything to say about that particular video, but 10 other people do, and you know, it's just something that I'm trying to start out. This is really like a test run, hoping that it works out great. I believe it really will. Yeah, I really believe it will. So
for sure.
I'm super excited about it. Peter Nieves definitely going to get you involved in this, Peter, man. I see you in the chats chopping it up with people. It's going to be a lot of fun, man. If anybody got some Q&A, let's do some Q&A right now while we got Eddie. Luckily, Eddie got the COVID, man. Without he's actually home.
I wouldn't say luckily.
I was just saying, if you didn't have the COVID, I don't know if I would have been able to get a hold of you right now. You might have been running around.
Man, this thing is 7 days a week strong, man. I'm always doing something.
You look good, man. Pause. Like, you look well rested. You look healthy. You look good, man.
And my eyes are white for the first time in a while. You can see them.
You look better now. Shit.
Yo, because when you get sleep, bro, like, look, there's one thing for sure. Diet, exercise, but sleep, though. Do not sleep on sleep.
Let's talk about that real quick. Let's talk about that. Let me get out the pen and the pad. Get my legal pad here. All right.
Yeah.
Now,
let's get it.
What are you doing for nutrition this year? Let's talk about some New Year's resolutions, y'all. Let's talk about some New Year's resolutions. I'm gonna say
for me,
my New Year's resolutions is starting Monday. I know today's the 1st. They're really gonna start.
Still gotta wait till Monday.
I gotta enjoy one more day of the weekend, and then we're getting grinding time Monday. What are your goals? How are you coming at 2022? How are we gonna make this your best year ever, Eddie?
Honestly, for me, I mean, my diet is something, and my health is something I'm always focused on. But I want to hit some major goals physically. There's things that I've been kind of not putting on the back burner necessarily, but I've been kind of like bullshitting a little bit with it because I don't know. Sometimes you think things are so hard to attain or so hard to reach that it takes so much effort. And okay, I'll start Monday and then start the next Monday. And then no. Once the end of the year happened and I'm realizing how close I am to the big 4-0, it's like, bro, I can't be playing with this. I don't have forever to make some of these things happen. You know what I'm saying? My testosterone is not building as easy as it used to. You know what I mean? So you have to start getting on the ball now. So that's really one of the things is physically, but it's also business wise. I want to be more business oriented than I've ever been before. I feel like it's important now that if I'm going to start to work the way I want to work and being, you know, and being in this entrepreneurship, I'm gonna have to really start to make that a priority too. It can't just be, okay, I'll start next week. You can't do that with that type of shit. You got to do it immediately. You got to focus on it. You got to really, really be into it. You know what I mean? Because now you're no longer working for someone, so you don't have to put your 8 in. No. You might have to put in 8. You might have to put in 10. You might have to put in 16. So I have to be comfortable with the idea of maybe working 7/16s. You understand what I'm saying? And that is just the way it is.
Well, that's the
And
thing. People, that's the biggest misconception people have about entrepreneurship. They
yeah,
believe that they have more time, but a lot of the times you have less time.
less.
You have to work longer hours than you would, but
Yeah,
the reward is greater, right? So it's like
so much greater.
so you get a greater reward, but that doesn't give you less time. But see, like for instance, what we're doing right now for me,
Hmm.
this is work, you
Yeah,
know,
but
and
this is good work.
look what I'm doing. I'm getting to speak to you. I'm getting to speak to the people. I'm getting to provide
Yeah.
value to the community. Um, so I can look at my work as I enjoy my work.
Hmm.
Somebody else may not enjoy their work as much, but if you
If you're
create,
working for somebody too.
yeah, but you know, if you're working for somebody, that's okay. But
Yeah,
if
but
you do have a personal goal, you should work
yeah,
on that personal goal. I mean, that personal, like, you know, if I'm working for somebody, but I know I want to be an entrepreneur, then I'm going to
yeah.
work on my entrepreneur stuff until I'm prepared to make that
Hmm.
leap, as opposed to just
Hmm.
making that leap and not knowing what's going to happen. Because we have to be real, right? People got bills, families,
Of course.
and stuff of that nature. So you can't just jump into it head first with without knowing what the future holds. But you do need to try to work on it. I think a lot of
Yeah.
times that you just end up being so tired from work, you're like, fuck it, tomorrow.
Bro,
And then
trust me,
next thing you
I
know,
know.
tomorrow turns into 5 years later. You're like, damn. Look, 2 years have went by since COVID, Eddie.
Yeah,
We're in 2022. In 3 months,
yeah,
it'll be 3 years. I mean, 2 years since we really like heard about this, like becoming a serious thing around March.
yeah. That's real. So think about that. So that just goes to show you the more you sit on your hands, you know what I mean? Stuff's not gonna get done. So this is why, and I'm not the kind of person, oh, I'm gonna go make a huge resolution and not actually try to deliver on it. No, I mean, I'm used to actually doing stuff that I'm supposed to do and actually putting work in to get that goal, finished. So that's one of the things that I'm focusing on this time. And it's not like, oh, just at the stroke of midnight on 2022. Oh yeah, this is it. I'm gonna do this. No. It's a process. We know that this is not gonna happen literally overnight. It's a process, but it has to be put in motion, and you have to be consistent. It ain't about having all that energy toward doing it on one day. It's gotta be consistency. It's like, yo, I was looking at this thing, right? And it said, if you go to the gym for one day, work out hard, what are you gonna see? Nothing. Next day, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna work out hard? You're gonna go back home, you're gonna see nothing, right? It's not about doing it that day and then the next day and then, man, I'm quitting because I don't see no results. No, it's a sustained amount of work over a long enough period of time. Do you see the benefits? And that's where you get it from. That's where the benefits come from. It's the journey too. You understand what I'm saying? I think a lot of people miss that. So that's why when you see people who, I got a New Year's resolution to lose 30 pounds, but then they lose about 5, and then they realize, man, shit, man, this is taking too long. And then they leave it alone. But it's because it takes more time than that. You know what I mean? You got to sustain that effort and that
You know what's crazy?
consistent work.
If you think about how quickly it takes to obtain a goal as opposed to how long it took to ruin a goal, it
Yeah.
actually is working in your favor to put the work in. Like for instance, right now I'm in the heaviest I've been. I'm about 230 pounds. Right.
Hmm.
It took me about a good 3 years to
To
go
get that
from
on.
185, 190 to 230. I mean, that took like 3 years. Now I can get back. I'm pretty sure, God willing, health wise and everything, I can make it through this without an issue. I'm pretty sure I can get it back in 6 months.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So in 6 months,
Guaranteed.
compared to 3 years, it's actually quicker to obtain a
It's a lot
goal
quicker.
than it is to ruin a goal.
Yeah.
But then again, it could get ruined. It depends what the goals is.
Look, it all depends on.
As I'm saying it, I'm like, you can also fuck up
Nah.
the goal in one day. But I'm talking more so about like the regular goals, like weight loss and fitness.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
Think about how much you can learn by putting in an hour of study in a day.
Yeah.
As opposed to how much you don't learn by not studying at all.
At all.
I mean, there you go. Like that answers your question right there.
No, 100%, man. I mean, it's just about being consistent. Consistency is what people really need to focus on. If you want to make a resolution of just being more consistent to what you're doing that you know you need to do, you know, and you should do, you have to do.
All right, so let's
you know what I mean?
Right now, let's give the people this right now. I'm gonna write it down right now. What are Eddie's top 5 New Year's resolutions? You guys want to be like Eddie Chambers?
Damn, me.
You guys are gonna get the secret. All right, I'm gonna write it down right now. Look, it says top 5. All right, I'm writing it down.
Let's go.
Eddie Chambers. If you want the Eddie Chambers New Year's resolution, we're giving it to you right now for free. New Year's resolution.
Oh my goodness.
We're only giving them 5. I know you probably got like.
You might want to pay people to take this one. This shit.
What are the top 5 things Eddie Chambers is gonna do to be better 2022? Let's go.
Well, first, you know, the first thing I say, man, is get my health 100% right. Even though that's something it's always a focus. That's one of the main things. I mean, I ain't got no fancy numbers. I ain't got no fancy numbers I'm looking at. I ain't trying to get down to 200 pounds or whatever, because really I can do that easily. But is that really accomplishing any goals? It's just about getting the health right, I feel like. Make sure my diet stays in order. You know what I mean? Get a little more serious, I think, about getting my body prepared, say, for physical, you know, a physical like a fight.
Are you making
a comeback? I feel like maybe. I don't know. I feel like that's something that I really need to work towards.
Come out of retirement on live.
I'm not, like I said, I ain't making no promises, god damn it. But what I am saying is I want to start to really work my body into that form. You know what I'm saying?
So is that 2? Is that 2 or is that 1?
No, that's 2. That's 2 because that entails like I'm gonna start lifting like I should have been lifting. Like I really don't, like I've been so far away from that, bro. Like I haven't really put enough of a workout regimen together for myself to really get involved in. You know what I'm saying?
All right, what's 3?
Huh?
What's 3?
The third one, obviously, man, is to get more organized about how I'm going to attack these goals. Just more organized, not so haphazard and just like, oh, I'm gonna do this today. I'm gonna do that today. Literally, like, write shit down. Make it a point to attack it in a certain way. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, or use what I'm looking at right now.
What your resolutions are. Don't worry, Eddie. I wrote them down for you.
I know you got them. Yeah, you got them.
I'll sell back your resolutions if you want it. All right.
Hey, listen. I want it. I need it.
Back your New Year's resolutions. All right.
Hey, listen. I'm gonna write this shit down in here. Once I'm done, you got to repeat it back to me so I can remember it. You know what I mean?
All right. What's 4?
The fourth one is to really, 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 like I said in the beginning, is to get started on making this entrepreneurship happen. Not just, and I'm not saying I'm going at it like, oh, tomorrow I got to do this and that. No, it's just really starting to get focused on it and making it really be a thing that I'm pushing for. You know what I'm saying? And another thing with this is also be very organized. And the last one would be more organized when attacking that too. Because listen, like I say, be more.
That's not a whole nother thing.
That is definitely a whole nother thing. It has to be.
Bringing 4 tying together though, more organized and entrepreneurial shit happen.
No. Did I say shit? No. The third one, I feel like being more organized in general. But I think that one ties more into the first 2. That's what I'm talking about, like the first 2. Read it back to me, Ant, because you know I'm got a boxing brain. Help me out so I can make sure I didn't make any errors.
We're gonna make organized first because you're unorganized.
Well, you can do that. We can do that. We can make the
look.
organized the first.
All right.
The
So
organized
your
first.
one,
Yes.
according to you, Eddie, your first
No,
one
no,
was,
no. Make the organized 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah.
How about that?
All right. So organization, health, physical condition, and entrepreneurial
Right.
goals
Okay.
are your 4 that you have right now. I don't think you need to put organized again as a 5th one. Now we're just you want your health and your physical condition to be right. When you say you want to be more organized, all you have to do is create action plans for your health and for your physical condition.
Right.
And then when you have an action plan for your future potential business, that'll be your entrepreneurial. So being more organized is just one big thing for everything.
But what about how to go at the entrepreneurship? See, the thing is, like, I feel like you can just say, "Oh, I'm gonna start doing this and then doing that, and today I'm gonna get like 3 clients, and then tomorrow that." There's no organization there. You understand what I'm saying?
3 comes into play.
I mean, well, I guess so. But I just felt like
you already tackled what needs to get done. So now what it is about creating action plans for these things. So what I would do about you is I would write down, let's just say on a piece of paper, my health goals, right?
Yeah.
And now you got your health goals. Now, what is your action plans for your health? For you, you know what you're dealing with, whether it's
yeah. I see what
whatever. You start saying, well, this is what I'm going to do for my health. Done.
Okay, so this is how we're gonna do it.
Now you gotta actually do it.
Right.
Then the next thing is physical condition. I want to get in this kind of shape in 90 days. This is gonna be my day to day. Now I'm gonna do that. Next, entrepreneurial shit. Okay, well, I want to pick up 3 new clients a week. I want to start my own company, but these are what and then do it. And then of course, just like fitness and health and everything else, business is no different. Everything is going to constantly change, right? Like your business goals are going to change all the time. Your fitness goals are going to change. If your goal is to lift a certain amount of weight, once you get there, now you got to add 5 more pounds because you've already reached the number. You know, if you want to lose a certain amount of weight, whether you want to keep losing or not, you still have new goals you have to do. Okay, I've lost the weight, now I want to tighten it up or whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, I figured I guess would be the next one would be to get to a point where you can exceed those goals, I guess.
So maybe the next one is to have your 5th resolution is to actually do it, maybe?
I mean, well, yeah. But that once again, yeah, fuck it. I mean, that's got to be the only thing, because those are the things that are most important at this point.
I think everything you're saying on this list, with the exception of health, I think you've done a good job with your health. I think you've done a good job with your physical condition. Maybe not the best you want to be.
Yeah.
The 2 things I see on this list that need the most attention would be 3 and 4, which is organization from knowing you, and entrepreneurial stuff, obviously.
Which I'm capable of both, and I've done both.
And then taking action. I'm gonna write taking action down on a lot of the stuff that you already know, because you're a fucking bright man. You're not a dumb motherfucker. It's about taking action.
It's just about getting it. It's about doing it, and I feel like that more so is of all of these things that we talked about, the things that I'm setting in motion, is just about getting the job done. So it's like, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I haven't done it before, but what I am saying is that I need to be on it now, and my focus needs to be a lot sharper, because there's not a crazy amount of time, left for me to be able to attain some of these goals. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, don't get me wrong, I still have time. I'm not saying that, time's running out, but what I am saying is I can't keep wasting time. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it has to be, each of these goals have to be, actively worked toward. And that's what I'm doing now. I mean,
I think the biggest thing that we could take away from all of this is organization. And listen, let's go back to the boxing training. Everything goes back to the boxing training here, obviously, because it's a boxing channel. But for boxing, I think where a lot of trainers and fighters mess up is they don't have an organized plan either. They just go to the gym, shadow box, hit the fucking bag, hold the mitts. There's nobody saying, okay, today's focus is this. Today's focus is this. Like the same way a good bodybuilding coach would build you to get prepared. A lot of boxing coaches are so just do everything by eye. And don't get me wrong, there is a lot of value to that because I do a lot of it that way as well. But with a little bit of tweaking and organization, imagine if, like, for instance, your dad or somebody had like a really organized guy who just sat back and watched your dad work and created an organized template for him and said, listen, you're doing a fantastic job. You're a fucking great coach. But I just organized this for you. I think this would help get your guys going and keep your brain sanity because now you have organization.
And my dad would have loved that.
And I think that, since boxing is something that's really big in the inner cities, like, the Philadelphias and the New York cities and the Michigans and, the ghetto, I should say. No disrespect to the ghetto because I'm from it just like everybody else who's in boxing. But a lot of us aren't the best at that kind of shit, like being organized and all that type of stuff. That's not something that we all grew up with. A lot of guys did, but a lot of guys didn't. And I just think that since boxing comes from that environment, a lot of times guys just be like, man, if a motherfucker fight. But listen, if we just did stuff a little bit smarter, a little bit better, we can actually go a lot further. Why do you think when a lot of these fighters come from Philly or a different place and then they go to like the West Coast and get with them really high profile teams, they end up getting in better shape. They end up looking better because over there they've understood, okay, it's time to organize. We got our strength and conditioning and our nutrition. Look what happened when you went to the UK and you started working with the Furies. Like they had a program in place. They had a system in place that was like, okay, we're going to wake up at this time. We're going to eat these meals. We're going to eat this many calories. Like it's much more sophisticated. And that's what I think that everybody did that with their own personal life. You will go further, even though it's annoying for some. That's how you get better.
It's just, look, you got to put work into the work. You know what I'm saying? You can't just keep doing the same thing and hope that it's gonna, eventually get you better. It's like, don't get me wrong, repetition is great, it's great. But the better the repetition, the better you're gonna be too. So it's like if you work on something that works constantly, then you're really gonna be nice. Whereas if you work on something that it might work, it might have been all right, you'll get better at it. You know what I'm saying? You'll get better. But the dude is working they say perfect practice makes perfect, right? You know what I'm saying? Not just practice. Practice makes, better, but perfect is going to make you more perfect, right? So that's that. I think 100% do the right things more often. We'll see. And then that's going to yield the best things.
Hold on, Eddie. I gotta make sure these fights get cut on. Today we got Charles Martin fighting Luis Ortiz. I almost forgot about
that. Is right. Wait, hey, what channel is that on?
I'm about to find out right now. Does anybody know what channel the Luis Ortiz Charles Martin fight is? Hey, can you put on the fight downstairs?
What channel is that?
PBC pay-per-view.
Oh,
it was PBC pay-per-view, but you should be good. You should be able to see it.
Yeah.
Who you got, man? That's a hell of a fight.
Yo, man. Yo.
That's your division,
man,
right
it's like,
there. That's your division right there. If Luis Ortiz can still be fighting, I mean, he's got to be 7 years older than you at bare minimum.
Yeah. I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
And that's the only thing that really makes me, wonder about the fight. Like, you know what I mean? Like, most people I'm going to be looking at Ortiz are like, what does he have left, and that would determine who wins the fight. And I kind of look at it in that way too, kind of, because I mean, we don't know how old he is. You know, you can get old overnight. So, you know, and it would be a hell of a time for him to get old in there with a big dude like Charles Martin. So, and Charles Martin's he's no bum. You know what I'm saying? He knows how to box. He knows what to do in there. You
Who
know,
you
he,
got?
he carries a big enough pop that if he puts his hand on you too many times, it's going to be good night. So, I really don't know, man. I really don't know. If you look at who's been I don't want to say more successful because Charles Martin held a title at one point, but I feel like Ortiz has been the one people look at as more of the better fighter, you know, better boxing background with the you know, the Cuban background. So he's you know, in a big puncher, dangerous, been in there for multiple world title shots. I would have to say Ortiz. It lies with Ortiz. The only thing is he getting old now? Like, I mean, he's obviously a little older. We know it, but how old is he? You know what I mean? Is it going to show up tonight? And I'm excited to see what happens. But I'm still gonna ride with him for now,
Who? Luis
and
Ortiz?
we'll see what happens.
You got Luis Ortiz winning?
Yeah, man. I mean, they're not that great of a difference in size. I'm not sure what the reach looks like. Just looking at them fighting, I watched my man I watched them fight Gerald Washington recently. I mean, not too long. I think was that his last fight with him and Gerald?
Not sure.
Charles Martin.
Who won that fight?
Charles Martin did. He stopped him.
Okay.
So it's kind of hard to judge that one, kind of. I mean, we got two southpaws, so I just think if you're gonna look at somebody with a better background, amateur wise, just in general, I would have to say Ortiz. You know what I mean? So if I'm gonna go with anything, I'm gonna go with that and see, and we'll see what happens.
Okay. All right. Well, that's what I'm gonna do, man. I'm about to get off of here. Go watch that fight. Based on what happens in that fight, I'll make a decision if I'm gonna come back live again tonight. If it's something exciting, you know, we're gonna have to come back on here and talk about it, Eddie.
What would you consider exciting? Like knockdown, drag out, Joe?
Like a Jake Paul knocking out Tyron Woodley knockout or something like that. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
but if Ortiz does that, I feel like that's not really much to write into. I mean, like most people expect that.
Ortiz get knocked out like that.
Now, if he gets knocked out like that, because most people probably expect him to win. I don't know who's the favorite, but just off of accomplishments and what those people would say, even though Charles Martin was the champion at one point, you know what I mean? They still looking at that probably like, that ain't, he was a champ for 5 minutes, got knocked out by Joshua, and his belt was just added to his collection. That's what most people are going to say. So that's why I'm thinking if Charles Martin knocks out Ortiz, then it's going to be like, oh, shit. That's the only thing I could think of in this. You know what I'm saying? But if it's a knockdown drag out, I mean, and both dudes got put down, and then, if it ends up going to the cards and you got a late crazy, you know what I mean, or a late knockout or something like that, then yeah, I guess that would be, something interesting to talk about, man.
All right. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, if the fight is good, we'll be back on here a couple hours, depending if Eddie's still up. If I'm still up. I think I'll be up though, man. I slept a little late today. Last night I was up late, slept in. So Monday's gonna be a drag for me, bro. I'm gonna be honest, because I gotta go now to wake up at 5 a.m.
See, the thing is, though, you know what? Check this out, man. I like, if I got a goal, or if I'm making, or if I have to wake up because of my own shit to wake up, I like that. I don't care. I won't feel like I'm dragging, and more so than I would if I had to wake up to do something for somebody else, or if I had to wake up because that's my routine, because that's my 9 to 5 type shit. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I like you saying, man, I gotta get up on Monday, it's gonna be rough, but this is your shit though. So it feels good to wake up. that early because you're doing it for
For me,
you.
for me, it's a personal goal more so than anything because
Exactly.
I'm a night person. So
So am I.
a lot of people know me, man. I'll come on here at 3 a.m, like randomly, and just
I'm that
talk.
dude too.
But I want to just challenge myself, really. I mean, I have
Ain't
no
nothing
real
wrong with it.
reason other than just challenge myself. So for my own personal challenge this year, I want to see if I could do that. And I just want to see if it makes me a better person. You hear so much about waking up early and how it benefits you.
Cold shower, Ant. Cold shower, Ant.
You want me to add the cold shower in there?
That's a bad motherfucker. Most people don't rate. They can't do it. I've been taking cold showers every day for like over a year now.
And how has
Every
it
morning. Huh?
how has it helped you? How has it helped you?
One thing is for sure, when you, for a person that don't get a full night's rest for like about good 4 hours, you still feel you that gets that shit right. You'll be ready. I'm gonna tell you, it gets to a point where it's addictive. So when you like say you take the shower in the morning, like say if you was not to do it, you would feel like shit. That's how crazy it is. You would feel like shit, like you wouldn't want to do what you normally do, especially if you didn't get to
How long is it
sleep.
under the water for?
Oh, see, they say start with 30 seconds, then work your way to 2 minutes. I do it for as long as I need. Like I'll be in there sometimes.
So you don't take any hot showers anymore?
Nah, like no, don't get me wrong. Like I'll I gotta keep myself clean, and I still soap and everything like I normally do, but it takes a little bit more work because with the hot
Man, I
shower, when you,
love a hot shower though, especially with my aches and pains. I feel like, for instance, my shoulder or my
bro,
back bothering me, the hot water will make me feel better.
what you don't understand about the cold water, and if you do cold, like say if you was to do an ice bath, that helps with inflammation. You understand what I'm saying? And with the cold water going into your spine and all of that stuff. I mean, I'm not saying that that's the same has the same effect as like a ice bath would, but it does have similar benefits in a way that it helps with that. It helps wake you up properly in the morning too. Skin, everything. You'll be like, damn. You get to a point where you can do it. Like, cause I've done it. I started off doing it maybe I want to say maybe for 30 to 45 seconds to a minute. And I got to the point now where I just get in the shower, yo, and whenever the hell I'm done, I'm done. Sometimes I'll be in there 5, 6 minutes, 7 minutes. It ain't nothing no more. You know what I mean? Like at first, when you first get in, it's like, ooh, but once you're in there, you're good. You know what I mean? So work on it, man. This is something that it really will help you.
Yeah, I'm gonna look into it, man. I'm gonna look into the cold showers.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna look into the
No,
cold
I got you.
showers. Yeah, I'm gonna look into it.
Hey,
That
listen.
wasn't a New Year's goal for me, but
Nah, but
you so
look, I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm gonna tell you this, real shit. If you can do that, there's a lot of things you can do. Because a motherfucker, I'm telling you, there's not a lot of people that could get into a cold shower consistently. There is that just puts you in a class is a little bit different. It makes you like you're willing to do shit that is so uncomfortable because that is absolutely not comfortable. Absolutely not. It takes it's something like you think of a fighter and what they go
look at a
through
little
the course
game
of a
right here.
camp or just in general or in a fight. Takes a special person to do that. So you do these types of things, I'm telling you, you're a different kind of person when you do this. Trust me. And in your mind, you'll know what you're capable of. You're capable of more than the next man. Trust me. This shit is it ain't no joke, bro.
Look at this. Eddie. Drink a glass of water before that cold water shower. It helps regulate your heart rate.
Yeah. I've done all kind of shit, bro. I drink cold. First thing I do in the morning is I get water in my system. So that's the first thing. Get you nice, shake that water up, get a nice moving water, glass of moving water in, and yeah.
Get all the sugar out of diets for at least 1 week. This shit is enough for inflammation. I'm gonna be focusing on cutting out the sugar too, Eddie. I got a lot of weight to lose, and I know sugar is a big deal.
That sugar shit. When I did that, real quick, and when I did that vegan keto, I did that vegan keto for like
less than a month, I went from like maybe it was about 5-6 pounds difference, but my body, my muscle, like it was like my skin was fucking was paper thin. Like I could see all of the muscle, bro. Like it just came out of nowhere. Like it came out of nowhere. All I did was cut out sugar and simple carbs, bro. Let me tell you, that's real shit.
Well,
Whoever
be
said
honest,
that, that's
be honest.
real
Listen,
shit.
this is what we're gonna do, Eddie. We're gonna hold each other accountable in the, we're gonna hold each other accountable in the community. I think we should hold each other accountable weekly in the community. So if you guys want to be part of this too, our transformation, I should say, make sure you guys get to the community, man. We're gonna be doing lives like this in the community, Eddie. We're gonna talk about diet, nutrition. We'll talk about what we've done throughout the week, how our goals are going, how everything's going, man. I want this community to not just be about boxing, but about life too, so we can better each other and help and better somebody else. Hopefully this motivates somebody else to focus on themselves and be better also. This is a lot of stuff, Eddie, but I got your resolutions here. If you forgot them, I wrote them down. I'm getting organized for you. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. You'll be able to get your resolutions back if you forget what they were.
You gotta give me that info, Ant.
and
I forgot it already, bro.
And I'll tell you what, guys, if you guys haven't purchased something off the website, guys, don't hesitate, man. Everything isn't a sales scam or a sales scheme. This is us trying to provide value and give you guys something that's worth something. You know what I mean? So go ahead, grab it. It's 75% off. You're gonna get part of the community. It's really a win-win, and I'm super excited about it. And if this fight is good, Eddie, I will be back on in a little bit. And
hit me up, man.
You already know.
What's going on, guys? Your boy Coach Anthony. Welcome to Build You From the Ground Up 2.0. Basically a continuation of Build You From the Ground Up 1.0. 1.0 was really good to get you started, to teach you the basic fundamentals. Now we're going to go ahead and continue it so you guys can have a little bit more of an intermediate level style of training. We're going to go ahead and we're going to cover techniques and tactics that we did not cover in 1.0, and we're going to go ahead and refine and sharpen the tools that you did learn in 1.0. The Build You From the Ground Up system is going to be hands down the best boxing fundamental system on the internet, and this is basically part 2. So be ready, get 2.0, and let's get to work.